Hey everyone, we're Red Donkey Projections. I'm Eric and we have Lucas as always.
Hey everyone.
So what we're going to be talking about today is Biden's slight lead in Texas and what he needs to do to reinforce this lead and what can happen to the whole presidential electoral college as a result of it.
So yes, Biden is now leading in Texas. This is shocking. Last time this happened was, I believe, a few weeks ago, and he was only leading by 0.1. Now he's up by 0.7. Will he keep his lead? And what can he do to reinforce it? And with that being said, let's get right into it. So before we start off this video, I do want to say that yes, we did a video similar to this a few weeks ago about if Texas can flip. This episode is different in that we're discussing how he is now leading and what he can do to continue to have that lead. And we'll be doing a deeper analysis into the counties and what he can do to drive up, like what he needs to do to win those counties over and win the state of Texas in general. All right, so let's start off with the first piece of news. Biden is leading in Texas. Today he was leading by 0.7, yesterday by 0.8. The last time this happened, as I said in the intro, was for like 2 days in early July, but the entire time before that, Trump was leading. This should not be happening. This is Texas. This is one of the reddest states, or at least used to be one of the most reddest states in the nation. The last time Texas went to a Democrat was 1976, Jimmy Carter's landslide over Gerald Ford. Now, this is different, very different from 2016. Hillary never had a lead this much. Heck, she didn't even lead at all in any of these polls. Any of them. None of them did. Trump plus 6, Trump plus 8.
These are all
plus 12.
likely safes.
Exactly.
And now look where we have come today.
And yes, polls generally do lean to the left, but in the state of Texas, we have seen that polls do kind of tend to benefit the Republican a little bit. We saw that in 2016 election. We saw that in the 2018 Senate election. So I think although it is fair to say that polls do tend to lean to the left a bit, it is important to see this. And why else is it shocking to see Biden leading? It's because we didn't make a video on this yet. We'll probably make it tomorrow or another day. Is that Trump is clawing back points in some states. Not by much, but still he's getting some points back in some of the polls. Mm-hmm. Georgia, Biden initially led. Trump has taken over the lead. I believe in Ohio as well. Let's actually check that right now. I believe in Ohio, Trump has also taken the lead now. He has, despite Biden lead the past month. Mm-hmm. Let me actually show you guys Georgia. So that's why we do think it's a little bit surprising that as of now, Biden's now leading in Texas. We're seeing this in Georgia. Now, what are the possible reasons for why Trump's clawing back some points? I don't want to dig too deep into it because, again, we need to save that for a different video. It's because we're not really seeing the news that much about Black Lives Matter and we're seeing some stuff about coronavirus, but it's a lot less. What's the way to say this?
Trending.
It's a lot less trending than it was before, and we are still in, I believe, a low point for the Republican Party is at a low point right now, but it's definitely, I don't think it's as low as it was before. So that's why we think this is surprising. Let's look at the recent polls here. Morning Consult has Biden up by 2. Another poll had Trump up by 7. That's interesting. Morning Consult is a B/C poll, so it's okay. It's not the best. Rise Strategies, BC again, Trump plus 5. Quinnipiac University, plus 1. Interesting. Gravis is a terrible pollster, but plus 2. Sure. YouGov plus 1, Biden plus 5. These two were really interesting to see. Didn't really know that. YouGov plus 4, Biden plus 2. So, and Fox News, Biden plus 1.
It's been very back and forth fluctuating, and it's going to continue to fluctuate. So for now, we can't make a proper conclusion, but we'll just have to wait and see how stuff goes in the future.
So I also did see that Biden is spending some money on Texas now. I think he spent some money to release some ads there. So it's interesting. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a video at the end of the video if he should be spending this much money, but we'll save that for later. So we do think it is definitely possible now for Biden to win. Likely? I wouldn't say it's likely, but now the possibility is out there. 1 month ago, 2 months ago, when we started our channel, we didn't think Texas was even on the table. we put it as likely in every prediction. It's no longer likely. Texas is moving a lot to the left now, and we'll show that in later data. We're going to now take a look at the counties. What does Biden need to do to win? Wow, this is lagging a lot. Apologies for that. But we've got counties here. Notice how a lot of these counties are in southern Texas. Eric, you want to explain why?
Yeah, so as we know, Texas does border Mexico, and there are immigrants here who emigrate to the state of Texas. And they usually settle pretty close to the border. And what Lucas has highlighted in blue is where they usually are. These immigrants become registered voters and do try to express themselves in elections, which is why it is pretty democratic down in these counties, but only in this tip of Texas. And once again, this is primarily a Latinx location, so they do tend to lean more to the left, and they do try to express themselves. They believe in Black Lives Matter. They are in support of that movement, and so this area tends to lean more to the left.
Right, and the counties I highlighted here, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned it a little bit more. I highlighted some of the blue counties. There are other ones, like there's some in this area, there's one or two here. Mm-hmm. But generally, the southern counties in Texas are blue, and most of the counties up here and north and central Texas are pretty red. Yes, there's one or two blue counties, as you'll see in the next source, but usually they are pretty red. So what does Biden need to do? He needs to drive up turnout in counties like Harris County and Dallas County and Travis County, El Paso
Harris County is the one blue to the right, rightmost blue. Right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty democratic there too.
Yep. He needs to drive up turnout, and specifically, as Eric said, kind of drive up Latino turnout and getting Latinos to obviously vote for him. Although Trump has seen some improvements with Latinos, it's been about 1%, I think. So it's not too much of a difference. So at the end of the day, Biden needs to take these bigger counties, bigger in population, that's what I'm referring to, and get them to outweigh those more rural counties, the more rural central and northern counties that are more Republican. This way, he does have a better shot at winning Texas. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we talked about this a lot in our other Texas video. But looking at this, obviously, briefly put it, Texas is swinging more to the left. Hillary won the state by 9 points. This was the first time in a very long time that any candidate came within single digits of carrying this state. I'm sorry, not Hillary won. Trump won by 9%. Sorry about that.
Imagine Hillary winning Texas.
But this was pretty surprising to see, and we are seeing Texas moving a lot more to the left. And with that, I do want to show also the 2018 Senate election, although I do have to say Beto was that once-in-a-lifetime candidate. He campaigned extremely hard, raised a ton of money, visited every single county in Texas. So,
which look how many counties there are. Like, look how many squares. Yeah. And he went to every single one of them.
So as I mentioned earlier, what Biden needs to do, drive up these the turnout in these southern counties, get the more of the Democrats there to vote for him. I also do want to point out the polling here as well. Beto won by around 2 points, 2.6 points, give or take.
Meaning, he lost by 2 points.
Oh, sorry. What am I saying today? But look at this polling. Almost every single poll had Cruz up by more than 3 points. So maybe polls here are a bit skewed to the right a bit. So we could be in for a pretty tight race this election.
Yeah.
And finally,
I just wanted to add that race is just a tiny bit of an exception, just a little bit though, because of just how try-hard mode Beto O'Rourke went when he campaigned in every single county. Like, that was insane. He spent millions of dollars. Like, he spent a lot of money here. So it may be just a bit skewed to the left, but it does give like a bit of a a bit of a taste of like where Texas could be going in future elections. Lucas is now plotting out. Yeah, Lucas is now plotting out the map, and we will be showing the impact of Texas.
Right.
And it's the landslide.
Yeah, I'm gonna first plot it out. We did this last episode as well, where we demonstrated that if Biden is able to carry every single state that Hillary won, plus Texas, he wins the election. It's over. Let's see, what am I missing here? Maine first. But essentially, he doesn't need to win the blue wall. He doesn't need to win Florida. He doesn't need Arizona. He doesn't need any state except for the state of Texas. That's really all that matters. And look at that, 270, and he wins. And it's over. This would be a blow to the Republican Party for not just this election, but for future elections to come as well. Let's give him Texas. What if he wins the states that we currently predict him to win? We currently predict Florida, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona.
Almost every single battleground state. Look at that landslide.
370, and give him Nebraska second too.
That's more than 2008. That's more than 2008.
And 2008 was a very big win for Barack Obama. This would be absolutely detrimental. Anyways, my point is here that Texas counts for so much. And even if he, let's say, yeah, as I said before, if he completely messes up like Hillary did and just doesn't win these states, and let's just say that he just wins Texas, it's over.
Nebraska second tick out.
Yeah, yep. It's over. But then that raises the question, should he campaign hard in Texas? And honestly, I'm quite split on this issue as well, because in a sense, he should, because if he puts all his resources into Texas and doesn't campaign the blue wall, he still wins. But then you got to take into account the risk there. Is it too risky to do that? Or, like, should he play it safe? Yeah.
My opinion is that it's too risky, because just, look at O'Rourke. He's a perfect example. Once again, millions of dollars spent. So much campaigning, still lost. Yes, Texas swinging more to the left, but there are still voters in that state that are committed to the Republican Party. So I don't know if he would want to risk campaigning in this state, and I wouldn't. As Lucas said, he did devote just a bit of was it money and advertise there a little or something, but he shouldn't try really hard in campaigning here. It's just not worth the risk. Maybe in another election.
You see, the thing about 2018 is that polling showed O'Rourke behind in nearly every poll. Now we're seeing Biden leading in some of these polls and even has an advantage. So I don't know, genuinely. I do think personally he should probably play it safe, as you said. Focus on Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Focus on the historically Democratic states that simply went to Trump once in 2016. Lock those down, and maybe that's his best strategy. But I think I agree with you on this one. But it really is debatable whether or not he should go for Texas. So the possibility of Texas flipping has changed quite a bit recently. But our final conclusion is, will it flip? We're leaning towards no. We give Texas currently tilt or lean are
somewhere in between.
Yeah, the possibility has definitely arisen now. And that's the end of the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you like the content,
please subscribe. We really want to get to 1,000. That would be amazing for us.
We are at 955 subscribers. Can we get to 1,000 by tomorrow? We'll see.
If not, kindly, generously by the end of the week.
Yes. We'll see you in our next episode tomorrow.
See ya.